If you follow F1, you already know this story. A driver has an issue or has a big breakdown or has a big crash at the start of the season, and then it's over. Their title hopes are gone, they're dashed. It doesn't matter whether they won the championship last year or they were originally looking to be a contender for the following year. And that's because you just simply can't outdrive the car that you've got. So think about that as we talk about Marquez this season. He dumped it early on in the season and it looked like he would not come back at all. But then this last weekend at the Sachsenring at the German Grand Prix, he takes pole, he gets a lap record, he wins the sprint race, and he wins the main Grand Prix. It's a clean sweep. So he's climbed all the way back up the ladder to third in the championship standings after looking like he was nowhere. How is this possible? And is the lead that Jorge Martin currently has safe? I'm Tim from Along Trackside. We're going to look at three things today. Firstly, what Marquez accomplished at the Sachsenring and why this track. Secondly, we're going to look at the comparison in F1 and how this could never happen there. Starting off poorly in a season generally ruins your season in F1. And thirdly, we're going to look at the current lead. Is that safe for Jorge? And why Marco Bezzecchi's weekend is a warning sign as we go into the summer break. There's only 6 tracks in the MotoGP season that go anti-clockwise or the wrong way. Sachsenring is one of those. And Marc Marquez loves a left turn. In fact, Sachsenring, with all of its left turns going anti-clockwise, is Marquez's arguably favorite. He is the most winningest rider at that track. 9 times he's gotten pole. Now 10 times he's won there. And that's the most of any rider at any circuit. It may as well be his home track. It's also the shortest on the calendar, under 4 kilometers. And Marc came in strong. He took the lap record. And it's the last season with 1000cc bikes. So who knows if that will ever be broken again. He then went on taking pole, the win in the Grand Prix and on the sprint race. Now this isn't foreign if you're an F1 fan. There are drivers who tend to dominate certain tracks. But owning one weekend in F1 doesn't mean that you're going to claw back a championship. And that's one of the key differences between F1 and MotoGP. Comebacks like this are a MotoGP phenomenon. In F1, it's so rare that you would see anyone ever come back from big setbacks at the start of a season to fight for the title. The car gives you a clear ceiling, and you generally can't outdrive that and come back from those big early setbacks. So whoever starts the year with the strongest car continues to have that throughout the season, and that lead tends to compound round after round. And we're already seeing that with Mercedes this year. The only contender at the moment seems to be Ferrari in 2026. So often we get a good feeling to know who's going to win the championship, especially the manufacturer, by summer. We've talked about this in the past already, that the rider makes much more of a difference on a MotoGP bike. They're essentially part of the machinery, which means that over the course of the season, they can have much more of an impact throughout each round. But it's the calendar that will actually make the season longer and make it available for someone to come back, because there's a sprint race every single weekend. So for Marquez, he can claw back points on Saturdays and Sundays. There's more opportunities for him to get those points each and every weekend. And him being the most successful sprint race winner, coming up at 19 now, beating Jorge Martin's 18 total sprint wins, that's where he's getting back a whole chunk of points that he lost the ability to gain for the first few races of this season. So while he's chipping away each weekend and he's reeling in the current leader, how safe can you feel if you're currently leading the championship in MotoGP? Going into the break after this most recent round at Germany, Jorge Martin still leads the championship, but he's now got company with 2 informed riders, being Ayagura coming in second and Marc Marquez now in third position. Ayagura won the race at Assen recently, and obviously Marquez just won at Germany. So there's momentum behind them. And given it's such a long season, we can see the fate of the leaders and challengers changing quite a lot over this season. Just think about Bezzecchi. At the start of this year, after winning a few of the Grand Prix in a row, he was the clear favourite to take out the World Championship this year. But after a run of bad results and a big crash this weekend, it's not looking like he's the challenger he once was. Unfortunately, the prior World Championship leader took a big crash at turn 7. He was probably going 140 kilometers an hour, took a high side, fractured his left collarbone, and put him out for the rest of the weekend. The prior Sachsenring record holder for Gian Antonio, he actually crashed out of the main Grand Prix as well. It was his first DNF of the 2026 season. So the answer as to whether Jorge Martin is safe or not would be a clear no, it's not safe. So even though Marquez threw it all away at the start of this season, he brought it all roaring back, and very clearly this weekend at the Sachsenring. No one should have written him off. For the fans watching, I'd love to know what you think. Am I right? Is it the driver or the rider that makes more of a difference with MotoGP? Or is it the car or motorbike that makes more of a difference in F1 or MotoGP? Let me know in the comments. As always, we appreciate a like and a subscribe. And if you want to know more about these types of videos, just click the link that's going to show on screen.